This is Ashley Anderson, and this is test 4. I'm going to be doing a differential. So I have my smear here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the frosted side over here and the button over here. And I'm going to put it on 4 times power just to kind of scan through and find the mono layer. So I'm looking for a layer where the cells aren't overlapping. And then I'm going to move it to 10 times. So I don't really see any, there's a bit of debris in the field on 10 times, but so far I don't see any types of abnormalities during here. I see a good mixture of white blood cells and red blood cells here. So then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put it on 40 times. So I'm going to do my estimate on that field. So now we're at 40 times. And I'm going to count the number of cells. I'm going to look at 10 fields at 40 times. I'm going to count the number of cells I see. Then I'm going to do the average of 10 fields and then times it by 2,000 for the estimate. So I'm going to do one. I'm going to go in a motion like this too, so I scan the entire, so I'm not counting the same field twice. So starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the second field has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I have the 10 fields. I'm going to take the average. You can pass me that calculator. Yeah. So 10 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 7 plus 7 plus 6 plus 8 7 plus 5 by 10. So my average is 7.1 in each field. Then I'm going to times it by 2,000 for my absolute count. Or not my absolute count, my absolute count. So I have my white blood cell count, I had 7 per field times 2,000. I got 14,200. So now that I have my estimates, the next thing I'm going to do is go to oil immersion. So I'm going to, in between the turrets here, put a drop of oil. And move it to oil immersion. Focus it in until I see. There we go. So in oil immersion, I'm just going to take a quick peek at, the red blood cells here. Everything looks the same size, the same amount of central power. They're all about the same shape. They actually look pretty even. I see a little bit of agglutination on a couple of them, but it's very, very minimal. I don't see any inclusion bodies, anything like that. And then the white blood cells so far, everything looks pretty normal. I see lots of neutrophils that have less than 3 or 4 segments. Nothing that's hypersegmented. I don't see any band neutrophils at this time. So I'm going to just, record that on the sheet. Okay. So while I'm on the 100 times the oil immersion, I'm going to use my counter here. It has the different white blood cells. I'm going to count the white blood cells until I get to 100. I'm going to go in a pattern like this so I don't count the same one twice. And I'm going to do it till I get to 100. And then while I'm at counting, I'm going to do a platelet estimate. So I'm going to count 10 fields that I see the platelets, and then I'm going to count the platelets and do platelet estimates at the same time. Okay. Right over here. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 platelets. Next field. It's mainly segs, neutrophils that I see. There's a monocyte, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I see 1 hypersegmented neutrophil. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 segments. I'm just going to note that. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 platelets, and there's some clumping. So I'm going to just add, I didn't count the one that has the clumping, I'm just going to note that there was clumping. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. Next field. Nine. So I'm seeing some monocytes, and they're obviously the bigger ones that have the pinker nuclei that's kind of shaped like a kidney bean, and then you see the lymphocytes that are a lot smaller. The nucleus is very round and takes up the majority of the cytoplasm. It's also stained really dark purple. Six with some more clumping. Okay, so I've gotten all of my 10 fields of platelets now. I'm just going to count until I get to 100 cells. You'll hear a ding on the counter. So again, they all look pretty uniform. They don't look abnormal. Oh, that's 100 already. So first thing I'm going to do is the platelet estimate. So I'm going to take the average of my fields. So it's going to be 7 plus 9 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 7 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 divided by 10. So I have 7.4 for a high power field. Then to get the average, I'm going to times that by 12,000. Which is 88,000. And then I'm going to times it by 15,000. So my platelet estimate is 88,000 to 111,000. So I just took 7.4, times it by 12,000 to get this number, and times it by 15,000 to get that number. So now it's time for me to get the white blood cell count. So looks like I had the majority were 50% segs. So that's 50% segs, which are what we call neutrophils. Then it's 32% lymphocytes, and then 18% monocytes. So I'm going to write that down here. So neutrophils, 50%, lymphs, 32, and then monos, 18%. Then to get the absolute count, what I do is I take the white blood cell count, which I calculated earlier, which was the 14,000, but I'm going to times it by each individual cell. So it's going to be, for the neutrophil, it's going to be 0.5 times 14. And for the lymphocytes, it's going to be 0.32 times 14,200. Right. 4544. With the monos. So my absolute count here, I made the percentages decimals, and then I times it by my white blood cell count, which was the 14, to get the absolute count here. I noticed one band neutrophil. I noticed platelet clumping, so that's something that I would add on there. As far as the red blood cell morphology, everything looked pretty uniform, same size, same shape, same central pallor. I didn't see any types of inclusions. The same with the white blood cells. I haven't seen any of that. I would consider this to be a normal blood smear. I didn't see any microflaria. I didn't see anything abnormal, no band neutrophils, no toxic neutrophils, things like that. I saw one hypersegmented neutrophil, but it was the only one out of the 100, so that's something that you don't really need to report because it was only one of them. Then, as far as different types of cells, so the main white blood cells are here. So this is a basophil. It has the dark purplish granules. and is usually stained dark purple nuclei. The eosinophils, which are my favorite because the cytoplasm is a nice pretty pink, so are the granules, and so the main difference is that you'll get to see the individual granules in the pink cytoplasm. The segs are the most common one. They have the more clear cytoplasm, and they have a really distinct purple nucleus. The lymphocytes are the smallest cells where the nuclei take up the majority of the cell. They stain real dark purple, and they're usually smaller in size. And the monocytes are usually a lighter pink, and they have like a bright pink nuclei that kind of looks like a kidney bean, and it's the largest of the cells.